What is good, my beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of This Feels Personal, where healing is a roller coaster, growth is ghetto, and the only thing holding us together is Jesus, caffeine, and duct tape. I'm your host, Ashley Guy, serving truth, side eyes, and unsolicited advice. And on today's episode, we talking about burnout, baby. Because apparently, burnout looks good on me. I mean, I'm not talking about the I'm a crash out on my couch kind of burnout. I'm talking about that high functioning burnout where you're still showing up. You're still jumping on those Teams calls. You are still hitting that per my last email. Yeah, you're still doing things, but you're dying a little inside every day. Let's get into it. Well, it's been a long week, people. I had to look myself in the mirror and tell myself, Ashley, ma'am, you don't think you burnt out? I mean, I like to say I hit brain glitches. Because I don't like saying brain farts. I don't know why. I just don't like saying that. So I say my brain is glitching at the moment. And it's been happening a little more often than normal. So once I started sitting down thinking about it, I'm like, yo, I really think this is burnout. So the funny thing about burnout, or high functioning burnout rather, is it's a masterclass in pretending. No one thought to check in on you to see if you were okay because you were meeting deadlines. You was showing up to those teams meetings. You was showing up to brunch with a smile on your face. You looked fine. And you were even productive. So why would anyone ask you if you're okay? Because even though you have that mask on, internally, emotionally, you are withdrawn, disconnected, mentally, going through an eviction, spiritually, going through a foreclosure process. It's all that buried deep because you're just so used to pushing through it. And you know what's wild? People applaud this behavior because you're so strong when really you are just suffering, just with better lighting and little complaint. Hustle culture has basically turned exhaustion into a personality trait. I mean, we glorify being overworked like it's a badge of honor. Up at 5 a.m., skip breakfasts, 10 meetings complete, stomach growling because you forgot about lunch. Just absolutely no boundaries set whatsoever because you have this thought in your head about what success and hustling should be and not what your mind, body, and soul needs it to be. The truth is, hustle culture doesn't care about your health. It'll high five your grind while you're having a mental breakdown. And when you crash, they won't even remember your name. So you have to think about yourself and what you need. I know I know me personally, I'm tired has replaced I'm fine. You know, with my depression and anxiety, I didn't want to be a burden to people. So when people ask me what's wrong, I'll be like, I'm fine. I'm good. But in reality, I was struggling in all shapes and sizes. So now, just the other day, my husband Marcus was like, babe, are you good? What's wrong with you? And my response, I'm just tired. But tired means different things now. Tired means I'm overwhelmed. Tired tired means I'm disconnected. Tired means I am one meeting away from just saying F it all to hell. You start ignoring real signs of burnout. The Sunday night dread that started Saturday night. Dang, I gotta go to work Monday. The way small decisions started feeling out like me trying to do neuroscience. And the sudden disinterest in the things that I love. I mean, y'all, I took like a whole month off from working out. And anybody that knows me know I love weightlifting. And I didn't do that for a whole month. And I had no excuse. I just was tired. And there I go. You see how it's just programmed for me to say, I was just tired.
Bruh.
I know. I need to be mindful, but at that time, that's the only word I could come up with. It's a grief for energy. That is what burnout is. It is not just being tired or having fatigue. It is grieving energy. So, me going through the hills and valleys of high functioning burnout, I found myself quiet quitting at work. And for those who don't know what quiet quitting is, it's whenever you do the bare minimum. You gave me a job description, and that's exactly what I'm going to do for 40 hours a week. Nothing more, nothing less. And then, when I hit my 40, deuces, I'm out. That is what quiet quitting is. And I don't think it's seriously that bad of a thing, like, the news and stuff try to make it seem, because you are protecting your peace and finally putting yourself first. Because I know firsthand that company don't care about you, your household, and what you're going to do after the fact if you have a mental breakdown while at work, or God forbid I have a heart attack while I'm at work because I've done pushed myself to its limit. They'll have a job wreck out within the week. And all you'll become is gossip around the building. Hey man, did y'all hear about what happened with so and so? Yeah, man, they found her at her desk, passed out. She was done. Then most of them is not gonna show up at your funeral. They're not gonna send no condolences. You are there to get work done. That's what you're paid for. We're told that you have to go above and beyond to get ahead. But going above and beyond doesn't mean not getting the respect you deserve. So you're doing all the things. And that moment where it's like I'm doing all these things to help the company out, and all I get is a thank you and barely any respect, that's when the mindset changes. So yeah, maybe I stopped answering the phone after 6 o'clock. Maybe I stopped responding to emails when I decide to leave the building. Maybe I just decided to think about what's best for me. It's not being lazy. It's energy recovery. We've been taught to think that rest is something that should be earned. Like it's a prize you win at the end of the tunnel. It's something on your Amazon wish list. When it's in reality a need. You need rest. Both mind, body, soul. You need rest. I mean, even God took a day of rest. Because on the seventh day, he rested. And yet and still, we treat rest like it's a treat. It's something you win. Rest is at the very least the minimum you can do to respect your mind, your body, and your overall worth. You don't deserve it. You need it. So, in one of my doom scrolls, when I was, thinking about doing this episode, so sometimes I wonder to try to get ideas. I'll scroll online and stuff like that. And I came across this Reddit snippet on anti-work. And I found a post that kind of hit me right where I needed to be hit at the time. So the title, I'm done giving 100% to jobs that give me 60% back. Yeah, same bestie, same. So let me read you this snippet. I used to go all out, early mornings, late nights, picking up slack without a thank you. One day, I realized I was crying in the parking lot before every shift. Now, I do my job well, but no more extras, no more pretending, and I clock out at 5 p.m. and I take my lunches. I feel guilty sometimes, but I'm sleeping again. That is not lazy. That is not slacking off. That is realizing what your limits are and taking hold of those limits. And if your job can't respect the boundaries you have set, it might be time to find a new one. So I want to know, what's your burnout scale at the moment on a scale of 1 to 10? I want us to stop pretending that we're fine and, we're just a little tired. Because at the end of the day, we're falling apart. And we need to realize that and accept it and do something to change it. Burnout doesn't always look like breakdowns. Sometimes it looks like being really good at hiding how bad it's gotten. Functioning does not mean you are flourishing. So if burnout looks good on you, maybe it's time you stop performing and start prioritizing you first. Well, that is it for today's episode. Share this in the group chat. Share this with a friend. Share this with an associate. I mean, we all have those friends who claim they're just a little tired. But until next time, peace, love, and blessings. Bye.